Hey, and welcome back to the channel. This is my review of Italy versus Ireland, and it was a cracking game. Exhilarating is the word for it, I think, and a very dynamic and fluent performance from Italy, yet a stoic and composed performance from Ireland. So both teams played well, I think, and it was a cracking game. A great advertisement for international rugby in the build-up to the World Cup. So yeah, let's get into the game. It was a strong Ireland side. A few replacements brought in to cover injuries, notably Tag Byrne in the second row, who has been such an influential player for Ireland over the last kind of 10 months, a year. And also Sexton is out, but I think it was a good opportunity anyway, regardless if he had his infamous dead leg or not, to give one of the number 10s in Ireland a chance. We had Ross Burns starting at 10 and did pretty good job. Casey in instead of Murray to start. Gibson Park, I believe, is still injured, and Casey did all right in the first half. But yeah, nine changes from the side that beat France so convincingly a couple of weeks ago, and but still a very strong Ireland side, and you can tell they're not taking this game lightly at all, and that decision proved to be correct. Gary Ringrose is out as well, unfortunately, one of my favourite players. But yeah, he picked up a knock in the week, and he couldn't make the starting 15 on Saturday. Yeah, so game starts, and unsurprisingly, Italy started 100 miles an hour. Really nice attack, and I gotta say, after watching the game, I think Italy are decided trying to emulate Ireland to a certain extent, particularly in their attacking patterns. They look very similar in terms of missed passes, passes behind, running angles, and I think Ireland are becoming a very influential side. Their attack, especially, I think, you're going to see over the next 12 months or the next 8 months in the build-up to the World Cup, teams trying to emulate them, and that's such a compliment to Ireland and the way they've been playing. So yeah, Italy start well. Ireland make a break in midfield and they go over for a try, but it's disallowed. Now this is becoming a little bit of a thing for Ireland, having disallowed tries, but this one was a clear-cut call, thankfully. And on that note, I think the referee actually did a pretty good job. No cards this game, and I was so thankful for that. And he could have pulled the yellow card out a couple of times, and he didn't. And I was very happy with that. That referee, I recognized his face. He had an absolute stinker. I forget what game it was, but he did a really good job, I think, in this match, and let the game flow. And I think both teams will thank him for it. The try wasn't given, but then virtually a minute later, Ireland actually get the first score of the game. James Ryan going over after a nice break on the blind side. The blind side of the Italians seemed to be a weak spot in their defense was good, but the blind side, or short side as they call it, seemed to be a little bit of a weak spot that Ireland consistently got change out of, and I don't know what it was. I think they weren't lined up. There was a bit of a dog leg there, and so the players were able to attack the gaps between the players, and yeah, Ireland got over, and James Ryan, who was captain on the day, great to see that, he got over, big second row for the first try of the game. And yeah, it was incredibly exciting, a fast-paced game in the first 20 minutes, and Italy looked really good on attack, again taking a leaf out of Ireland's book, going for quick ball and spinning it wide, and they got some change out the Irish defence. Ireland's scramble defence was really good, and it had to be. So after Ireland score, Italy come back straight back into the attack, and they get a great try from Varney, the scrum half, and the number 8 for Italy. I think it's Cannone. Looks really fired up, some big huge hits in midfield and carrying the ball really well, and they're using their forwards really well to attack the Irish defensive line in midfield. And Ireland struggled with that all day, particularly when Italy put it wide. And fair play to the Italians, they really developed some attacking skill over the last few months, and they're looking like a different team than they did like 2 years ago. So Ireland dealt with them really well. They're a handful, believe me. A key aspect to the match in my mind was the absence of Tag Byrne. Him and Doris have been like dominating the breakdown and doing their work, carrying the ball forward too. So someone was going to have to pick up the slack, particularly at the breakdown. Tag Byrne left a big hole, and Ireland did really well. Everyone chipped in with turnovers throughout the game, and that was a vital. That was of vital importance to Ireland securing this victory. I mean, players I think realised that Tag was their like main man, their main jackal guy, and they kind of spread the work amongst themselves, and they got some key turnovers. So Italians had a lot of possession. I think it was like 60 plus percent possession after 20-25 minutes. But when Ireland did get a ball, it was becoming legendary attack. They seemed to score. So even though they were down on possession, when they got the ball, they scored tries. And that's why people are loving this Ireland side. They're scoring tries, and good tries, really nice to watch. And the Ireland looked dangerous when they had the ball in hand. So Keenan gets over for Ireland's second try. So it's 2-1 at this point, and Keenan, who had such a good game against France, gets over. He was a bit quiet after that, but he's a great player, and Ireland have quality throughout their side. Italy are kicking more for territory and putting in clever little kicks behind. I think that's what they missed against England. And after this game, you'd have to say Italy missed an opportunity there. I think England were there for the taking, and they just got their game plan a little bit wrong. But after seeing the way they played against Italy, against Ireland, I mean, they have to kind of regret the fact that they didn't test England a little bit more. The decision making was better this match, and they attacked. They did attack from everywhere, but they were kind of they mixed it up a little bit more, which I think they needed to do. So another great attack from Ireland, and fantastic run-in lines as always, and Bundy Aki gets over, and Aki's back at outside centre. He's normally inside centre, I think, and he had a good game. You know what I mean? A couple of mistakes, but played really well. Very committed player, and he gets over for a nice try. So in the first half, the Irish scrum was a little bit shaky. I don't know what was going on, but they gave away a couple of free kicks and a penalty. It got much better for them in the second half, but in terms of set piece dominance, they definitely didn't have it at the scrum in the first half, and Italy capitalised upon that fact. But again, players filling in for Tag Byrne. Casey gets a nice turnover, and throughout the game you saw players getting turnovers, and that was a key component to Ireland's victory today, I think. Without those turnovers, I think it could have been a different game, but fair play to them, they all chipped in, and in the end, I think that's what won the game for them, as it so often does with international rugby, turnovers. So towards the end of the first half, I've kind of been waiting for it, but Ireland put the chokehold on Italy and start to use their muscle, because they're very good in the tight, and pick and go near the Italian line, and I was waiting for that, just to like draw the Italians in and like wear them down, and it works really well, and they spin the ball out to Hansen on the wing, and he gets an easy try. So they could have done more of that, I think, through the game. But when they did it, they looked really good. So Ireland can play tight or they can play wide, and that's a great attribute to have as a team. And Ireland get the bonus point for 4 tries in the first half, and it's not over yet. Bruno, he's a little dynamo, isn't he? He's a firecracker there on the wing. Really like him actually as a player. He was like 100% committed, maybe like overly committed at times, but he was a great little player, and he got his just desserts and got an interception try just at the death of the second half, and it makes the scoreline kind of very respectable for Italy. They try behind. I think it was 24 17 going into the halftime break, and that's close, you know. So Ireland played really well. Like I said, took their chances, were very composed, but Italy is still in the game at halftime. And what a great first half. I mean, I was on the edge of my seat all the way through the first half, and I was just waiting to see if Italy could continue that kind of level of performance into the second half. And they do. Italy do continue that level of performance, and they start again at 100 miles an hour, right out of the tracks. This time, Ireland are able to slow down the ball a little bit more and give their defence a chance to set, and they deal with the Italian attack much better. Also, I think a key point is the prop with the braids. He goes off, and the replacement comes on and really steadies that scrum. And Italy really dominate the scrum battle in the second half. And Ireland really dominate the scrum battle in the second half. And I think again that was a key component, that platform that they had from the scrum in the eventual victory in the game. Ireland put a fantastic series of phases together, and they really making the Italians work hard, but some huge hits from the Italian, very physical defence, and they managed to hold the Irish team out. Again, Ireland very composed, going through, very patient. This time it doesn't work for them, and it's about 10 minutes though where Ireland is just attacking Italy like over and over and over again. And fair play to the Italian defence, they did really well to stop Ireland from getting a try. And there's a point in the game that made me laugh out loud. So Ireland have been attacking the Italian line, and Italy finally managed to squeeze out the turnover and get the ball back, and it ends up in a scrum. And the Italian number 8 picks it up on his own line and runs it out and spins it wide. And Italy makes some good yards with it. It almost doesn't come off, but I was laughing because I was like, they so full of confidence. I mean, to do that against the number 1 team in the world, you gotta have guts and you know what to do that. And it was great. I just loved it. It was so fantastic to watch. So after 60 minutes, it's 2024, and it's anyone's game really. Ireland do look the more composed team, but Italy just have that they seem to have an extra yard of pace, and they are breaking down the Irish defence, which is unusual. They scramble well to cover, but you can see Italy getting another try or two. So you don't really know at this point which way the game is going to go. So Ireland attack the short side again, and they get a lot of change out of it once again. And Aki seemingly goes over for his second try, but another one disallowed. So this becoming a pattern for Ireland, and you know, I'm not criticizing the players too much, but you know, if it's becoming a habit, they need to look at it. Like the 2 tries that were disallowed so far in this game, they could have easily been tries. So players have to have a little look at themselves and think about their composure when the try line is beckoning. But Italy get out of jail and actually play their way back into the game and get a penalty, and the score is very, very close now. And you can see Ireland again a little bit nervous. Italy mount absolutely fantastic sweeping attack right across the field, make a bunch of yards, and then a beautiful inside ball, and they almost get over for the try. It ends up going back left, and the centre puts in a little kick, and he's hit just as he puts the kick in. I think luckily for Ireland, and a try goes begging really for Italy. And you can see Ireland are feeling the pressure a little bit now. Then we have perhaps the key moment in the second half, and that was a substitution. Murray comes on at scrum half, and to be honest, it completely changed the game. Like, he had I mentioned him last game against France, how well he played, and he just comes on and settles down the Irish team, and they get their composure back, and virtually the next phase of play, Murray and Doris take the game by the scruff of the neck and just like put the ball through a bunch of phases and get the try, and then it's signed, sealed, delivered. Then Ireland's game, but Murray, what an impact he had coming off the bench. It's not that the Casey had a bad game, just Murray's level of experience and his composure. He looked like he was playing in the park with his buddies, like, you know what I mean. And yeah, Ireland sort of snapped back into position, and yeah, they just see out the game then comfortably. But overall, what a fantastic game. Italy, again, they were unlucky losers, but their performance level is so high. They run the number 2 and the number 1 in the world close, you know. And England, that's one I think they let get away. And Wales are next, so, you know, being a Welsh supporter, I'm not looking forward to that game. I haven't watched the England game yet, but I'm not looking forward to that. And yeah, Italy just playing so well, but Ireland showed their class, the quality of the performances, and the experience, particularly Murray coming off the bench, and yeah, just really, really great game of rugby. Really nice to watch, and yeah, I couldn't be happier for Ireland and Italy. Yeah, they're on the up and up. Think about where they were a couple of years ago and where they are now. Just hope they get a couple of wins to you know, to kind of justify the performances. Not against Wales, obviously, so I guess Scotland. But yeah, all right. Thanks for watching the review. If you made it this far, appreciate it. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you for the next review soon. All right, cheers, bye bye.